Yes, I am self-employed and I applied for PPP Round 2 as a first draw applicant, and today we are talking exclusively PPP Round 2 Self-Employed Forgiveness. Here's a quick timeline for you. On January 11th, I applied for PPP Round 2 as a first draw applicant. My SBA PPP loan then went under review at my lender on January 21st. My lender then submitted my PPP Round 2 loan application to the SBA on January 25th, and just 2 days later, on January 27th, the SBA approved my loan. I then docu-signed all my documents, which all went back to my lender, and on February the 4th, I was notified by my lender that everything looked great and that my loan would be funded within 4 to 5 business days. And today, February 12th, as I'm filming this, my PPP Round 2 first draw applicant loan finally got disbursed to me, and that's why I'm making this video. All right, so what are the next steps? Let's break this down and get to work. What's up, guys? I'm K. Scholl. Welcome to another financial awareness video. I usually post videos on various topics as they relate to financial planning. So please consider subscribing to the channel if that's what you're looking for. Now that my loan has officially been funded, I wanted to make this video just to wrap up the whole process and put a bow on it and talk about the next steps. This video is for you if you are self-employed, if you're a one-man band or a one-woman band, and you have no employees, it's just yourself, and you file your taxes and get a Schedule C with all of your 1099 income. Hence the title, PPP Round 2 Self-Employed Forgiveness. I touched on some of this in my last video, and there have been several comments throughout all of my PPP videos, but not everybody takes the time or has the time to scroll through and read all of the comments, let alone my somewhat lengthy responses. So I wanted to put together a little bit of a Q&A, and if you want to stick around towards the end of this video for that, you're welcome to do so. But I also wanted to share some additional thoughts on what I'm going to be doing next. So what am I going to do from here? Well, check this out. These are 5 checks from my business checking account. I've already filled them out, dated them, and I'm going to deposit them on each of the dates noted on each check. The reason I'm choosing to do this is because I used my 2019 Schedule C, and back in 2019, I paid myself twice a month, on the 15th and on the 30th. So to show uniformity in my documentation, I wanted to follow the same payroll process that I had back in 2019, which is 2 checks per month. This is going to be for 10 weeks, so there will be 10 total weeks, 5 total checks. Remember, when applying for this loan, you had to use your average monthly payroll and then multiply that number times 2.5. So 2.5 months worth of checks, that's 10 weeks, hence 5 checks. If you paid yourself monthly in the year in which you used to arrive at your average monthly payroll, then pay yourself monthly. If you're in an industry or if you paid yourself weekly, then write yourself weekly checks. However, guess what? I'm only doing this in case I need to provide the documentation down the road. Here's what I mean. When you're done with this video, head on over to sba.gov/PPP and click on the link for PPP Loan Forgiveness. From there, scroll all the way down to where it says Forgiveness Forms and Instructions and click on Form 3508S. Time out real quick. If you're self-employed and have no employees and it's just you running the show, then due to some income restrictions of the PPP loan program, the maximum loan amount you could have gotten is $20,833. The maximum loan amount that is allowed for those that are self-employed is $100,000. And well, $100,000 divided by 12 months, then multiplied by 2.5 is $20,833. Meaning that for all of you watching this video that this video applies for, your PPP loan amount is going to be under $150,000. So this one-page form, Form 3508S, is all that you need to apply for forgiveness. And as you scroll down to review the instructions for Form 3508S, you'll see it clearly says documents that the borrower is required to maintain but not required to submit. Okay, so what am I gonna do? Well, I'm a pretty do-it-by-the-book kind of guy. Pretty vanilla and boring, sorry. So I'm gonna do it by the book. I'm going to execute my plan to maintain payroll, and I'm going to pay myself these checks over the next 10 weeks, as I've mentioned. But next week, basically the middle of February, I'm going to start the process to apply for my PPP Round 2 Self-Employed Forgiveness application and see where this goes. And then once all of the dust settles from all this and it's finally forgiven, I'll probably make one last follow-up video. I truly do enjoy engaging with you guys when you comment or ask questions on my videos. I know sometimes my responses back aren't exactly necessary, but I like to just do it anyway, just to say thanks for watching the videos and for you to dedicate your time, which is one of your most valuable resources that you can't get back. So I really do appreciate it. With that said, here are a few questions that folks have asked that I'd like to address as best I can. So this one right here is from 302 Keys. Thought he was Johnny Sins. Dude, I gotta tell you, this just warms my heart full of joy because I had no idea who this guy was, and I had to look him up. Actually, my wife looked him up to find out who he was, and let me just tell you right now, I take that as a huge compliment. That dude is way more jacked and ripped than I am, trust me, and I take that as a compliment. Okay, moving on. All right, so this one is from Corrine Lewis. She basically says, hey, I have a question and someone is applying for me for the PPP and the person said I must have a 560 credit score or above. No, that is not true. The SBA has mentioned before on their website, you do not need to have a good credit score or a credit score in order to get a PPP loan. If your lender is requiring it, just know you don't have to go through that lender, and lenders might be requiring it, but the SBA does not. So if you don't have great credit, and that is a little bit of a sticky point and an issue for you with the lender in which you've applied for, I would tell you, maybe try to apply with a different lender. All right, this one is from Jay Ville. Most efficient PPP vid on here, detailed and to the point. Appreciate it. Hey man, I appreciate you. Yeah, I try to make videos that I would want to watch myself, and I try to make them as short as they need to be. Some of them are a little bit long, that's true, but I like to go into the nitty-gritty detail of some of these topics, and if you don't have the time to dedicate to watch the full 15 or 20-minute video all in one sitting, that's fine. Just come back to it later. Okay, this next question is from Arian Khan. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. How I'm gonna pay myself when the loan already deposited in my bank account as an Uber driver. Well, as I just mentioned on this video, your loan amount probably isn't more than $20,833 as an Uber driver based on the income for either 2019 or 2020. What that then means is that your SBA PPP Round 2 loan, whether it was a first draw or second draw applicant for yourself, you are going to be able to use that Form 3508S, which is just the one-page form, and you do not have to provide checks to yourself. You do not have to provide bank statements. You should hold on to that documentation. Don't let go of it. Don't lose it. But in order to get this SBA PPP loan forgiven, you don't have to have that documentation, so you should be okay. Okay, and then this one is from Miss Shada Brown. Shada, so you actually didn't need a business account from the lender you applied through. Yeah, so I actually had this same question come up with another buddy of mine who's also a financial advisor for PPP Round 1 back in 2020. His bank did give him a little bit of grief because he didn't have an exact account open that was a business account. He worked through it and it's not a problem. My account that I'm using actually is not, I looked it up, it's not an actual business checking account. I refer to it as my business checking account because it is completely segregated from all of our personal funds. It is just for revenue and expenses for my business. So it is completely separate. So what I would advise you to do, just as a self-employed, business owner, you should segregate your revenue from your business just to help your accounting, just to help your funds, so it's not all commingled all together in one account. That's a little bit more of a best practice. I've got another video, I'll throw it on the screen right now as well, that goes into a little bit more tips for self-employed for your taxes, and really just some healthy tips in general. One of them I talk about having a profit and loss statement for your business, and definitely if you are an Uber driver or if you have some sort of small business that you are working through, you should just have a separate account for your business, and it just helps things. It's just more clean. It's just way better for you. and you'll have all of your business related expenses over there, and you'll have all of your personal related expenses and purchases over here. And that's kind of how I have had it structured and set up for years. So I have all my business revenue that flows through, and then what I have essentially done is I just built up that business revenue account to the point where it's got plenty of cash in it, and I just pay myself a very regular salary. And actually, that's one of the tips I've got for you guys. If you have an irregular income, just keep stacking cash in your business account, and then just simply start to pay yourself a very regular salary. And quite frankly, that's how you take a very volatile, irregular income and you stabilize it. And you just simply pay yourself the same salary. And then you treat yourself, even though you're self-employed, you treat yourself like a business owner. And at the end of every quarter or at the end of every year, if there's surplus money left over after you've paid yourself your regular salary every month, then give yourself a bonus and transfer another $500 or transfer another $2,000 or whatever your number is from your business account to your personal account. Just, good healthy habits to get into. Also, if you're planning to purchase a vehicle this year and you're self-employed and you're going to be using this vehicle at least for 50% of the time or more, then in year one, the year you purchase it and place that vehicle in service, you have to decide whether you are going to use the actual expense method of accounting for that vehicle or the standard mileage rate method for accounting and for getting deductions for that vehicle. And if you're not sure which one of those you're going to pick, check out this video right here. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments down below. Hey, I appreciate your time. See you in the next one.